TF2 has a lot of different features, but I am 100% sure that there are still some features that you guys can think of that you really want to see added into TF2. Now, this video is going to be purely hypothetical. I'm not sure if Valve would be working on adding any new features like this, regardless of how many people asked. And right now, the bots are the main problem I'd want to see people working on, if they are working on anything at all. So this list, for the most part, is just so I can get a video out of it, but these features would be quite cool. I knew some people were going to have a go at me in the comments saying Valve isn't working on TF2, so yeah, there you go. So before we jump into the features I'd love to see in TF2, I just want to say a huge thank you for 86,000 subscribers. We started this month on 80k, and we've got a few days until the end of the month where I'd love to see if we could potentially hit 87,000. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you click the button. I'd really appreciate that, especially because that 100k goal is so close now. It's like we're within reach of it. So if you can subscribe and you're not already, then please do that. I appreciate it, and let's get into the video. Okay, so this feature is coming a little bit from my streams recently, and I feel as though there should be a feature where if you block a player, the chance that you're going to get queued into the same game as them would get lowered dramatically. So if you're being followed around into every server by somebody trying to get you banned on Twitch or trying to ruin your whole stream, then you could just block that player, re-queue, and they shouldn't be able to get back into your games. Now, obviously, this is a little bit biased, as I've been dealing with people following me around every single stream for the past 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm getting a little bit bored of it. So having a feature like this would at least make my life, and most of the streamers going through the same things, lives, a little bit easier while trying to stream and provide entertainment in this game. Now, that's not to say this feature wouldn't be useful for other people. I'm sure other people will get followed around into games anyway if they somehow wind somebody up, or, you know, a guy is just trying to be annoying for that one person that day. Like, this feature would actually be quite useful. And if you started blocking bots, then, you know, you'd have less of a chance to queue in with bots. And if everybody is blocking the bots and they're not blocking each other, they'll just get into games where the only people in them are bots. No real players, because nobody wants to queue with them. So I don't know if it would work like that, but it would still be quite useful, I think. This next feature I've seen quite a lot of people talk about, especially when it does come to the bots, like I've just said, and that is having a capture type thing to prove that people aren't bots. You know, like those pictures where you have to point out where in a block of 9 pictures the traffic lights are, or select an image with a bridge in them, or something like that. I think that would be quite useful. It would be annoying, definitely, to do that every single time you tried queuing, but I guess bots are annoying too, so I think that would be the lesser of two evils there. I think it would be interesting to see how Valve would even implement that into TF2, and if it would actually work, or if the people making the bots somehow would come up with a workaround. It might help quite a bit, it might be quite cool, but it also might just be rubbish, and, you know, waste loads of time while queuing for games and make no difference. Next up is another feature that I'm actually surprised isn't in the game yet, moving multiple items at a time. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys sort your backpack to the same level that this feature would be useful for, but for people who trade a lot, or, you know, who want to sort all of their stuff really specifically, or move a whole bunch of items at all, right now you have to drag every single weapon or item individually, which really sucks. And it's why instead of a backpack sorting session being an hour or 2, or something like that, maybe if you're being quite fast, it could drag all the way up to like 4 or 5 hours, depending on everything you're doing. So having the ability to like shift click to a page and move it out of the way, so if you're trying to put other items there, you can. Or for example, if you were holding control click, you could select a bunch of items on one page, move them all in one go, and then, you know, that page is now clear, and you've now moved only specific items on that page instead of the full thing. I'm not sure why this hasn't been in the game already, but I think it would be really useful. Especially if you haven't sorted your backpack in a while and then trade for some keys. Like, your backpack just gets destroyed because of all of the ref in random places. It's not great. Now, this next feature is a really little thing, but the TF2 menu has a thing where you can look at the top TF2 streamers currently. And for a long time, that just hasn't worked at all. Like, it doesn't show anything when you click on it. This used to be a really cool way to find some streamers you won't have known about already. Like, if any of the big guys aren't currently streaming, you'll be able to find some really small streamers who are actually really quality too. And now that doesn't work. So you can't do that as easily, like directly from TF2. Obviously, if you go onto Twitch and you go onto the TF2 streams, you can find them. But that means a lot of people probably won't do that. If they just see a cool stream on the menu page, they're more likely to click on it. And I'm not really just saying that to, get more people to watch my live streams, even though I do live stream every day. I am actually saying it because there's so many amazing, like, smaller TF2 streamers that nobody watches because nobody knows who they are. But, they deserve way more love than they're getting. So, I mean, I'd recommend going onto Twitch at some point, going into the TF2 category, scrolling all the way down, and just seeing who you can find with, like, 0 viewers or 1 viewer, because they might actually be really good. And obviously, watch my streams. Okay, so this last feature might be a little bit weird. I have to be honest with you guys. I was struggling to think of 5 things. So this last thing I think it would be fairly cool to see in the game is potentially having kill cams when you die. This way you could see how you got killed, and it could maybe be quite helpful for people to see if the guy who killed them is actually cheating, or if they just got a good shot or were just playing better than them. Being able to see what the enemy sees once they've killed you would help a lot of people understand how the game works, and not just accuse innocent players of being cheaters for getting a couple kills on them, or just being a better player than them. And I think then also having an option to like clip those kill cams, then send that with a report on a player if they are cheating, would be more solid evidence rather than just a couple people say this guy's cheating, but there's no proof of it, and it's a lot of extra work for Valve to even see if they're cheating or not. Whereas if multiple people are sending clips for the same person, for example, the bots, then there's a higher chance that they would get banned because there's so much proof of them actually cheating. I think maybe that would be quite helpful. And I think kill cams in general in this game, even if you don't want to watch them, you just skip them straight away. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could be a fairly useful feature. Or it would just turn into that thing that is in the game. It's quite cool. You use it sometimes, but then you skip it most of the time. So anyway, that is going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you click the like button. And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 100k subs right now. I really want to hit it. So make sure you click subscribe. And with that, I think that's pretty much everything else I needed to say for this video. So once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.